What are the downsides of being the popular kid in high school? Growing up, I never had much. It wasn't something I liked to broadcast, but everyone kind of knew anyway. I wore clothes from thrift stores, had a cracked phone screen I couldn't afford to fix, and usually ate the free lunches provided by the school. It wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible either. I had friends, a good sense of humor, and a reputation for being chill and easygoing. Life was mid. Then, junior year rolled around and Jasmine transferred into our school. Jasmine had everything: glossy hair, designer bags, and an Instagram full of vacations I was scared to even dream of. When she sat next to me in English and instantly complimented my thrifted sweater, I felt something twist in my chest. I'd heard rich kids could be nice, but I didn't expect her to single me out. We quickly became friends, which felt surreal. She'd even treat me to overpriced smoothies after class. So when she invited me to prom in senior year, promising a night of glamour and memories, it felt like an opportunity I couldn't turn down. Except there was one catch. Jasmine told me I'd have to blend in with her rich friends, and that meant looking like I belonged. "Just dress like you're loaded," she laughed one afternoon. She said it casually, tossing her hair over her shoulder, but something in her eyes told me she wasn't kidding. So I took on extra shifts at the diner, spending late nights bussing tables, serving coffee, and fighting off exhaustion. I pinched pennies until I had enough for a sparkling gown and accessories to match. By the time prom rolled around, I was exhausted, but I looked exactly the way Jasmine had described. Fast forward to the big night. Jasmine picked me up, and as soon as she saw me, she clapped her hands dramatically. "You almost look like one of us," she teased, her eyes glittering in a way that didn't feel friendly anymore. I shrugged it off, telling myself she was just nervous. At first, prom was exactly as Jasmine promised. Chandeliers dripped with golden lights, music pulsed around us, and everyone was friendly and complimentary. People I'd never talked to before suddenly seemed interested in me, and for a moment, I allowed myself to believe it was genuine, until everything started to unravel. When she thought I wasn't listening, she'd whisper things like, "That dress cost her whole paycheck." Another time, I heard her murmur, "Honestly, it's cute how she tries so hard. Poor people, am I right?" It stung, like, a lot, and I kept hoping for it to stop, but it didn't. Each joke landed sharper than the last, and my patience wore thin. Finally, she stood up during dessert, her voice carrying over the crowded ballroom. "Let's toast to my friend, the best-dressed poor girl here," she declared loudly, raising her glass in exaggerated triumph. The laughter that followed cut me to the bone, and that's when something snapped. I stood up, my chair scraping loudly on the polished floor, meeting Jasmine's eyes head-on. "Yeah, Jasmine," I said evenly, my voice surprisingly clear. "I am poor. So what?" The room fell silent, eyes widening in shock. Jasmine's mouth dropped slightly, her confidence wavering for a split second. I leaned closer, feeling braver. "At least I don't cheat my way through calculus and bribe my tutor to write my papers. Or did you think everyone just believed you suddenly became a genius overnight?" Whispers erupted around us, shock spreading across faces that had moments before laughed at me. Jasmine's cheeks flushed scarlet, her perfect composure cracking. "You have no idea what you're talking about," she hissed, gripping her glass so tightly I thought it might shatter. "Oh, I do," I replied calmly. "Everyone knows. They just don't say anything because your parents own half the town." She instantly stormed off, and even tripped on her Steve Madden heels. The rest of the night passed in a blur. People approached me with whispered congratulations. But Jasmine wasn't done with me yet, because that small victory soon ruined my entire life. It started when the scholarship acceptance I'd been counting on suddenly fell through, with no explanation given. I tried to convince myself it was a coincidence, but a few weeks later, my entire college acceptance itself was revoked, citing discrepancies in my application I knew hadn't existed before. I couldn't sleep. I hated myself for not just giving in to Jasmine's bitchiness. I thought there was at least one silver lining. I literally had nothing else to lose. But apparently I was wrong about that too, because around this time was when I heard it. My parents were whispering late one night. They had both lost their jobs unexpectedly, laid off without notice or clear reason. And when I heard it, I just smiled, because I had an ace up my sleeve, one Jasmine would never see coming. Full story on channel, link below.